So your book discusses the detrimental effects of people pleasing. I was a people pleaser. I was mentioning to you, right? How did you personally experience these effects, and what was the turning point that actually made you decide to change?
Yeah, so you know what? Growing up, I was basically raised to believe that I was there for everyone else. My job in life was to take care of everybody, to be a sounding board, to make them feel, happy, all the things. Like it was put on me that like one, I was responsible for, but two, I had the control. And like if you've ever dealt with codependency, it's this double-edged sword of like, wow, I have to help everybody, but I can help everybody, but you can't. And you just get into this like ugly people pleasing where you don't actually feel valuable unless you're doing things for other people. And so part of my background is in anthropology. So I always like to say, when we're dealing with these people pleasing feelings, we're actually afraid of being eaten. And it's going back all the way to, the cavemen times when if you if you weren't making other people happy, if you weren't a contributing member of the group, you were kind of shunned, you were cast out. And when you get cast out, nobody's watching your back in the dark, and a saber-toothed tiger comes along and thinks you're dinner. So it may sound ridiculous because we don't have saber-toothed tigers wandering around, but that like lizard brain takes over, and we're like, oh my goodness, if I don't do all the things for all the people, they're not going to like me anymore, and then I'm going to get eaten. So it's a hop, skip, and a jump, but it happens.
It does
And I'm
happen, right?
sorry, you asked more of a question, and I went on a
Oh no, we take the conversation however it goes, and I'm fine.
awesome.
What did I ask? How did you personally experience these effects, and what was the turning point that made you actually decide to change?
Yeah, realizing that I could clear my schedule multiple times, but if I didn't get to the like the inner feelings and those long held beliefs, if I didn't deal with those, that I wasn't actually going to make any changes. I was just going to clear my schedule and then it was going to get filled right back up. And a friend of mine actually asked me to step into the president role for a speakers association that we belong to. And in my head and in my heart, I was like, oh, this is a terrible plan. Parents are older, trying to build my business back up. Planning a wedding at that point. Like there were all these reasons why that was a terrible, terrible idea. But there was also that like, well, your friend's not going to love you if you say no. And I hemmed and hawed for about 3 weeks before she was like, I need an answer. Like I have to get all the information submitted. I need an answer. And I gave her the yes. I was like, yeah, okay, I'll do it. And instantly I was like, oh, what did I do? It was like, 10 tons of bricks just on top of me. Like that was a bad plan. And now I'm going to be angry, resentful, and overwhelmed for the next what 2 years, coming on 3 years, because there's before training, there's actual presidency, and then there's the backup for everybody. And I was like, I can't do this. This is bad. And the emails started coming and the meeting requests started coming. I was like, what have I done? So I thankfully that was kind of the straw that broke our poor little camel friend's back. And I just realized like I can't do this. Spoke to some mentors and was given permission, which is something that I love to give my audiences because we often don't hear that. I was given permission to put myself first
Yes.
and to realize that like I actually I wouldn't be doing the chapter justice because I couldn't serve in the way that it deserved at that time in my life. Um, So yeah, my mentor said, you know what, it's okay. Like, now they can find someone else. The problem is if you wait for, 8 months and go through all the training and take that away from someone else, that's the problem. So he gave me permission to say no, and it was a huge turning point.
Yeah, a big liberating feeling too, just like because when we say no to something that doesn't align to us, so it's like we're saying yes to something that does align to us, that brings us joy and fulfillment, and our souls even shine a little bit brighter because we're just happier that way. Because we do come first, you know. I even tell my kids, I said, "You want that toy? No, no,
No.
no." No, you're going to have to either give away one of your old toys to somebody who can use it, or you're going to have to earn it, or let me see your grades, you know? So I used to always say, yes, you can have this. I used to spoil my first child. Oh my goodness. He had like the whole collection of the Toy Stories, the collector's edition toy that's supposed to be in its box. Here, a 2-year-old, what's he going to do with it? Like, I was completely nuts back then anyway. But I had to teach my kids, no, I'm not going to. But they're happier now because they know what they need to do to get a new toy or
Absolutely. Yeah, no,
yeah.
like when we teach the people in our lives like what they need to do and what they how they can earn, whether it's a toy or whether it's access to us,
Right.
it clears things up. And I'm not trying to compare children to dogs. However, dogs do better when they're trained, when they have boundaries and they know like, hey, this is okay and this is not. Like they're calmer and they're happier.
Yeah, it says hope I wish I can train my cat.
I cats are a whole other. I can't help with cats.
Oh man, like because I love all furry friends, and I love both dogs and cats. Never really did like cats until I actually started having my own, and I
Mhm.
love cats. And there's no way I can. I try. I'm like, oh, but they're gonna do their own thing. They're just crazy. Anyway, I could talk about cats and dogs all day.